So here I am filming a Newcastle light rail video where I'm currently located. The street where cars are going across is Hunter Street, Newcastle West, and the street opposite heading towards the University of Newcastle honeysuckle complex where the pedestrians walking towards now, that's Worth Street. So I was filming trams going to and from Newcastle Interchange and Newcastle Beach. Anywho, so let's go back a bit. So this is Hunter Street looking westbound at Worth Place. Now Newcastle Council have just put in a bike lane, which you can see there in green, and you can also see the yellow dividers between the traffic lanes and also the bike lane, green marking and the bike lane sign. You know, it's only relatively new, within the last 6 to 12 months that this was opened. Now that there's not as many cars going down Hunter Street, so between Worth Place now and where I am now and Bellevue Street, in each direction there's a bike lane next to the curb, then there's a lane for parking, and then there's a lane for driving. So you can see some parked cars there on the left hand side. You can see other cars going through on the only traffic lane. Now there's some adjustments made when you're coming to intersections, depending on what they need the intersection to do. But this lane in green closest to us is a bike lane. Now let's just call her old mate. She was coming from this direction where this Mercedes-Benz is, driving west on Hunter Street. So let's go for a walk. Here's the intersection. Green painted bike lane, yellow dividers to divide the bike lane from the traffic. The traffic light there and the bike lane sign. I'm filming with the phone and the tripod on this traffic control box. So I'm filming here and I see old mate coming across and actually driving over these dividers down about here. So she's driven her little white car, old mate, across these dividers. So I'm thinking, where's she going? Now we go down here and pass the violin shop, and she continues to drive down this bike lane in her small, I think it was like a little Toyota. So she's driving past this area with all these parked cars here. So let's count them as we go past them. 1, 2, 3 where the Mercedes is, 4 the grey Hyundai, 5 the Suzuki Swift, 6 the vacant parking spot, and where the white van is number 7. Now I've stopped at this parking meter deliberately because once she decided to park, she walked up to the parking meter, played with the parking meter for a moment, walked back to the car, and I'll show you where the car ended up in a minute, and then she went off back to the car, and then a couple of minutes later she's driven around the block up here trying to find a parking space again, but there was none. So she's driven past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because all of these cars all the spots had cars in them at the time. So she's driving down this bike lane. Fortunately there were nobody using the bike lane at the time, and luckily she didn't have one of these big SUVs or something like that, or the Amarok over there. So she's driving down here. So she's driving down here, totally oblivious to all the parked cars that are here, totally oblivious to the cars that are in the traffic lane, and then she stopped about here. She's got out here, and I'm expecting her to duck into one of the nearby shops. Now there's a hairdressing salon, there's a boot shop. So I'm thinking, what is she going to do? So she parks round about here in the bike lane with all these cars here, walks up to the parking meter there, gets back into a car about here and gets in a car, drives off, continues to drive down here, continuing to drive down here in the bike lane still. There's now a left lane for people who aren't Old Mate to turn left into Union Street. And then she turns left into Union Street, goes around the block and comes and has another go at parking. Now I'm all the way back at the previous intersection. I can't believe what I'm seeing, and I've seen a lot. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Now there's another guy, and just for convenience I'll just call him Old Mate as well. He was walking towards me. He was walking towards me at the time. And yes, I did have the phone/camera pointed right in his direction. But by this stage, by the time he's come in the shot, I've zoomed in on Old Mate number 1 parked down here, not Old Mate number 2 who's worried about his privacy on a public street, thinking that I'm filming him just walking down the street. Now, out of all the people that I filmed walking past today in conjunction with wherever I was, he's the only one that says, "Hey bro, are you filming me?" And the ironic thing was, I wasn't actually filming him at all. I was indeed filming Old Mate over there, but it was quite ironic that the only bloke today that's been concerned about his privacy had really nothing to worry about, because I wasn't focused on him at the time, because I was focused on what the original Old Mate was doing. By the way, watch for trams. What the original Old Mate was doing, and then she's come around for the second go, and I'm thinking, is she going to do exactly what she did before? But thankfully she didn't. Nobody got hurt. I had some amusement. One of the local shopkeepers came up to me and he's like, "Dude, it happens all the time." So I thought that was interesting. So here I am, Hunter Street, Newcastle West, and I'm going to get back to filming trams. I'll leave a link so you can see the actual video that I shot, and you can see my shoddy camera work, because I couldn't believe what I was saying, and I was trying to focus. I was trying not to focus on Old Mate number 2. I was focusing on Old Mate number 1, and then Old Mate number 2 is talking to me, and I just couldn't believe it. Now, yeah, I could not believe it. So here we are, and I'm going to get back to the light rail videos. Bye for now.